Hello and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. In this video, I'll be demonstrating how to create interactive NPCs with Dialog. So first, I'll start by demoing the feature. And here you go. So when you walk up to a villager, they can display text like it is a dialogue. Come on. There you go. So yeah, and when you click on them, they can have a custom callback. So that's the feature I'll be explaining how to set up in this video. So yeah, let's look at the feature. All right, so to begin, we'll look at the scoreboards and show what you need to do to initialize this. So currently, there are two objectives to the scoreboard, villager and state. Villager is for when the player clicks on a villager, their value is set to 1 for so you can set up a custom callback, and the state is the state that the villager is in, so you can iterate through different text to show based off of what they previously just said or previous interactions the players had. So to create a new NPC using this data pack, what you want to do is start by summoning a villager. And while setting it up, I like to set the effect of them to have a, so they can't move. So now they have slowness, and here it's easy to set them up. Basically all you need to do is add a custom tag like this, and this tag just needs to be unique to the villager. So for this, I'm going to use the tag 5. I tag all the NPCs with a number, just so they're unique and easy to keep track of. So now that they've been tagged with 5, the NPC is ready to be picked up and have a custom script created for them in the data pack. So now we'll go and look at the data pack and see what it's doing. So here's the data pack. It has 2 main functions and then 1 function for each of the NPCs with a custom script. So first off, we have the locate function. This is going to run every 10 ticks. By the way, this is in Minecraft 1.14. As you see here, we're using the schedule function, which makes this a lot easier to create the data pack, because with this we don't actually have to set up any command blocks. This can be run entirely with data packs. So yeah, this function just calls itself every 10 ticks, and what it does is it's going to execute this function tagging all the NPCs within 5 blocks of every player in the map. It's going to tag them with the tag running, and then tag all the villagers that are not within 5 blocks of a player and remove that tag. So we use that in each one of these custom scripts. So basically we test to see if the NPC is running, and if it is, then we're going to run their custom script. Otherwise, we're going to run their script if they are not within range of the player, which in this tutorial they have no scripts that run when they when they're not in range. The second function is the run scripts function. So all this does is calls each one of the scripts that we've added. It also sets the player's villager score back to 0 at the end of the script, because we don't want it to duplicate, and it's just easier to write it here since this is constantly running, so we don't have to add this to each one of the scripts individually. And then finally, it calls itself again every 3 seconds. I use 3 seconds because it gives a good enough time for each text dialogue to appear over the villager for you to be able to read, and then iterate to the next one, and is also not too long. So then over here we have the custom scripts for all of these villagers that you see in the map to give the custom dialogue. So we're going to start by looking at one, which is pretty basic. It does not have any callback set up, just shows off how to create a custom dialogue. So first thing we do is we're going to merge data into the villager with the tag 1, as you see here. And we're going to set their custom name to 0 and also set the custom name visible to 0. This makes the dialog box disappear. So yeah, it looks like the villager's not saying anything. We're also going to want to remove it if the villager is no longer running. So this would be the case where a player walks up to the villager, it starts talking, and then the player walks away. We're going to want to remove that dialog box from above them, just so it's not hanging out there indefinitely. Next, we're going to add the custom dialogue. So the first line reads, "Hello, traveler," and this is when the state is equal to 1. And then when the state is set to 2, it reads out the next dialogue, which is what brings you to town. And then after we select which dialogue to show, then we're going to update the score of that villager and add 1 to its state. And finally, once that state reaches its max state, which is 3 for this script, we're going to set the state back to 0 so it can loop through this again. And that's basically how this works. In the number 2 script, it's a little more complex because it has a callback. So when the player clicks on the villager, it is going to display that title, quest started, with a subtitle, "Gather Leather," because this is a quest giving villager. So yeah, this is how you would implement some sort of callback for a villager. So now if we want to go and add a new script, all you have to do is create a new file. For me, I just called it 5 for this villager that we summoned here. And all you want to do is basically add whatever script you want here. This can be pretty customizable. So for this, I'm just going to create another custom dialogue. Like this, and just set it to something simple like that. And also for this, we're going to set the tag to 5. Yeah, because this is only ever running for the villager with the tag 5. So once you write your custom script for the villager or whatever entity this is running on, you're going to want to add it to the run scripts function. So function 5, just like that. And once everything's saved, you can reload that back into the world, and now it should be set up. There you go. I am Dialog. And it will disappear here. There it goes. This guy's kind of making it a little difficult, but yeah. So yeah, that's all it is to creating a villager with a custom dialogue. Now, if you want to create a villager with the custom dialogue and also add custom callbacks, you're going to want to add a little bit to the summon command, where the villager does not have any offers for trading. This way, when you click on them, it doesn't open up the dialog box. So the command will look like this. As you see here, the NBT data is just offers is going to be with recipes with an empty list. So when we summon that, the villager now has no clicking callback. However, it is updating your score to the scoreboard for villager. As you see here. As you click, it goes up to 1 and back down to 0 because that's just the script resetting it every iteration. Like that. So once you summon your villager with an empty offer list, it's very easy to now add callbacks for when the player has clicked on the villager. You just come over here, and for this, I'm just going to be borrowing from function for the number 2 script, where we're just going to display a title again. And basically, you're just wanting to test for when the villager, or for a player with the villager score, either 1 or higher, because it can go higher than 1, since this does only update once every 3 seconds. As you see, it's counting up and then resets back down to 0. So yeah, you're going to want to test on more than just one value. But yeah, so that's how you set this up. And yeah, that now has a custom callback. So now we have the script with callbacks. We can now add this villager, add the script to this villager. So tag that villager, add 5, and then reload to add that callback. So there's the dialog again, and once you click on them, it will loop around and give you the quest started. And that's all you really need to do to set up a callback. Yeah, pretty straightforward. All right, so that is how you implement custom villagers with dialogue and custom callbacks. I hope this tutorial helps, and please, like the video and subscribe my channels to see more content like this. Thanks for watching.